Thank you everyone for joining us on the SafetyConnect podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Swamynathan Subramanian. And today we're going to be talking about innovation in safety management. So before we jump into the main topic, let me introduce Mr. Swamynathan. So Mr. Swamynathan is an expert HSE professional with over 25 years of experience in safer construction and maintenance of steel plants, cement plants, refineries, power plants, factories, high-rise building, roads, bridges, infrastructure, metro rail, oil and gas, and utilities. In addition to that, he is also uh, currently the global HSE head at Novartis. He's also been the recipient of the HSE UK Global 40 Under 40 Award. And he's also a certified ESG professional with an MBA from IIM Kozhikode. So thank you so much for joining us on the Safety Connect podcast today.
Thank you, Mr. Thanmai, for a
Great.
very brief but nice introduction. And thanks for mentioning special. I would like to live up to the expectation to keep things special even for the viewers as well. Yeah, thank you very much.
Great. I have no doubt about that. So first and foremost, right? Why did you even get into safety?
Actually speaking, to be very honest, I didn't get into safety. I joined Larsen and Toubro through campus interview, and the very first year of my employment was in mechanical engineering. Like I have been selected as a trainee mechanical engineer for first year. After first year, I'm talking about 1998. So that time the safety concepts and things started, getting roots in Indian context, and L&T was the forerunner in almost all the areas at that time, and even still. And they decided, instead of getting some safety professionals from outside of the organization, they wanted to groom people from inside. So I have been one of the uh, lucky lot, I can say. At the time, I was thinking it is very unlucky because people were saying safety, it's not that profession, not having much promise and all those things. But somehow that was the choice I didn't made and the organization made. And I asked a question to my project director at that time, why I was selected. And then he said, yeah, we have been selecting people. We want to develop the internal talent within the organization safety. And is one of the core values for the organization. And we see two important qualities. That's what he mentioned. Like one thing is like uh, my curiosity. Like I was curious that the first year they observed me. I was very curious, going to people, learning things and these sort of things. And second thing he mentioned was I was easily getting along with the people. So these two things he said that is very important aspects, and that's why we selected you to be part of the safety team, and that's how I came into safety. This at the time there were a lot of negative things as well because the field was very new and many people didn't understand the very importance the safety professional can play, and everybody was saying, Swami, this is going to be a wrong decision and all those things. But somehow, fortunately, it all turned up well, and now safety profession is one of the very sort of sought after profession, I can say, and very fulfilling one as well.
Interesting. So you mentioned about so you said your boss then mentioned about the curiosity and easy to get along with other people, right? So now when you look for safety professionals to work in your team, what do you look for? Are these the same qualities or have more been added to this?
Yeah, when I look into the fellow professionals or the young budding professionals or the people who are joining my team, I always say just maintain that sort of curiosity. That is very very essential, not only for being a safety professional, for anything. Because over a period of time, especially we have a huge gap in what we learn in universities and what we actually implement or actually come across when we are getting employed and when we work in an organization things. So many of the things what we study did not apply or the things. So most of the soft skills are only going to get you successful in whatever things. So staying curious, and enthusiastic. That's one skill I always say it's still applicable for any sort of profession. And getting along with people, yes, because most of our things like a teamwork sort of environment and setup, unless otherwise it's an individual sport or an individual scientist sort of role. Everything else needs, as a person to get along well, a part of a team, being a team player. These two are very, very essential qualities of any other person. To add to that, see, being curious also makes you, opening your perspective to new thoughts, new ideas, and new things. Because being a safety professional is not just, you can't just study in some university and come back and implement. You have to keep on learning new things. Basically, I'm a mechanical engineer, and then now you talk about electrical engineering, electrical safety, chemicals. So anything else, civil engineering especially, these type of things. No, like the curiosity is very much required to know and learn these fundamental concepts of all other aspects of your subject, basically. So yes, these two things are still very, very relevant. And apart from that, the motivation comes from being more competent. So the more and more you are getting competent in the subject, it's more and more better. So in addition, I can say you have to have a continuous thing of improving your competence levels.
Absolutely. And also, when I talk to a lot of safety leaders and safety professionals, what really strikes or stands out is the diversity when it comes to the fields of interest that they have, right? And also what they've been exposed to. Because I mean, it's all about thinking out of the box, right? I mean, there are going to be situations that a person encounters which could put them at risk, and the safety profession needs to think it through in terms of, okay, what are those scenarios that would have not even been considered, right? So hence that breadth of experience is something which we notice is going to be so important and a crucial factor for people to do well in this space. Now, having said that, when it comes to aspects like digitalization in the EHS domain, given the diversity involved, what's the right way to go about it in your experience?
The right way, actually, if you speak, regarding technology, there is nothing called a right way. The things, actually, most of the things I learned is by trial and error, and in this case, the exposure matters a lot. Unfortunately for me, when I was involved with all big companies and things, I remember in the year 2000 when we were constructing a 330 megawatt combined cycle power plant in Tirukadiyur in Tamil Nadu. The Japanese, no, Marubeni Corporation was the client for us. And then at the time, no, the digital camera, they used to come and take photos, and immediately you will get that, the things. Morning there will be a inspection, and then afternoon there will be a discussion with the photographs and all those things. That was very, even the projector was a big, thing in the technology, and we used, oh, wow, they are showing these things, and it was much effective way of communicating. So I was really fortunate to get exposed to those sort of technology in the very early stage of my career. Then when I moved to Oman, there, this petroleum development of Oman and things. So again, a lot of technology things, especially on road safety and things. That IVMS, by 2006, 2007, the IVMS was full-fledged. The fleet was fully, equipped with IVMS thing at that point of time. So these sort of, early exposure to those technologies and things has given me an edge. And I always say the right way to approach is like first analyze, don't try to force fit anything just for the sake of every industry is doing this or everybody is doing that. So I will also do, or I have been given this budget, I don't know what to do. So I will just put this into this. And these sort of thing, will not be an effective way for the longer duration. So let us try to analyze first as the first step. Maybe if you ask the right way, that will be the first analysis. What exactly is my requirement? For example, when no, from Dubai, when I came to India, working as a chief safety expert for Nagpur Metro Rail project, the very thing was like it was a public thing. Like you have to work among the public, and some 450, 500 tons of steel is hanging over, and some. 3,000, 4,000 people in an hour, maybe crossing that. No, you don't have much control over the things, and the hazards needs to be corrected then and there. There should be a real time control of your hazards and things. At the time, our necessity was okay, given the Indian context and things. We can't have a 100% safer side, but if anything spotted immediately, we need to correct. So the response time for correcting the hazard was a very challenging one, and that's where we thought, okay, the real time hazard management has to be done. So there, that time we developed and deployed this RIMS, which was first in the metro industry in India. So that was well received. So again, that need was there, and then the technology has supported, and that when the need was there, and then we can find a suitable technology, the management buy-in will be very easy. So the thing is, we have to start analyzing and not try to force fit what exactly is our requirement, and then to match that, if we can find out suitable technology, that will be a effective way. Then going to other these things, we have to develop a plan, properly implementing and things, and then training the people, getting the buy-in, and no, these sort of things comes next. First, the thing is what is a need, and then we have a very cost benefit analysis and these type of things. No, when we put it systematically to the management, uh, that will be a very easy, buy-in can be ensured. So that's why no management in my experience is not willing to spend money or sort of thing. The only thing is, whenever I get a resistance from my superiors, I always feel there is some better way to express to them. Maybe I have not put it in a proper way or proper context. Maybe I have to study a bit more, or I have to be convinced myself. The moment I got fully convinced and I can put across this idea in a very systematic way to the management, I don't see anybody rational enough or sensible enough to sort of reject. And I have never faced that sort of the thing. Almost even in the government setup, when I was working, I was working for the government of Maharashtra and government of India. So these officials have very willingly adapted to those sort of new technologies when it has been presented in a very sensible way. So that's what it matters. This sensible way of presenting comes only when you do a proper analysis, and not force fitting things, and putting things in perspective, and do a very clear cost benefit analysis and things. Then things become a cakewalk.
Understood. Yeah, very aptly said. And at the end of the day, every safety professional needs to be able to sell their concept, their idea very effectively to the management, right? Because at the end of the day, sometimes the management only understands numbers. So you need to kind of convince them in the language which is familiar to them. Yeah. So are there any challenges that you faced in addition to, of course, showing the ROI and presenting it in a convincing manner? Are there any other challenges or undercurrents you feel are important to implement these kind of innovative solutions or systems in a company, which maybe depend, it could be dependent on people, IT teams, procurement teams, and so on and so forth, right? So, how do you navigate those challenges that typically occur when you talk about implementing tech in a large enterprise?
See, management buy-in, I feel that's the most easy part. When I say management buy-in, I mean the budget sort of the things. Any management or any senior leadership, when we say there's a latest technology available, and it is cost benefit is there, when we can put up a sensible argument to them, definitely they will be having a buy-in. So in my experience, I never faced those sort of challenges, especially in the management buy-in. The main problem or the challenge is getting your peers and the, in case if you're the contractors and the end users sometimes. This is where the buy-in, we face a lot of resistance. So what we felt by trial and error, I am saying a thing which worked for me very well in Dubai was a complete flop when I tried to replicate the same thing in my Nagpur metro project. That I realized very fast, and then entirely I changed my approach. So the same thing didn't work in Nagpur metro, and the same thing when I joined JSW, that approach was totally not working, and then I had to adapt certain things. So everybody has to have their own sort of approach. There is no right way or the sequential way or something, but there are very quite fundamental things are there, especially how you manage the stakeholders. And managing stakeholders, I mean, right from the identification, there are certain people which we never consider. Okay, anyway, when it comes from management, yes, they have to do it. So you get that sort of impression, you are gone, you're finished. You can just put in paper that it has been implemented, but actually it is implemented effectively. It is fetching the result what we it's intended to. Then you will be facing the wrong side. So that is where the getting the all the stakeholders and things. And one better fact or the things like this all these things, even though it can be your original thought, your original thing, you should never give an impression to the people that it is my idea and you have to implement it. So that is the trick here. Like you have to wrap your idea or the initiative in such a way that it all it is collectively, it is a part of collective wisdom, and you cannot label one person or one thing attached to this particular initiative. The moment any initiative, so far in my experience I have seen, if an initiative comes as this person's idea or this person's things, unless otherwise that person is extremely influential or extremely popular, apart from that, if it is coming as an individual person's initiative, it's most of the time I have seen it as a failure sort of, especially when you need a lot of stakeholders to get into, make it success. So that's where the challenge comes, like how you are successfully putting this as a part of collective wisdom, and it is not your baby or your thing. The moment somebody people see that this is Swami's baby finished, that's all it is gone. So I try to see, even though the original thought comes, I will always keep myself flexible, putting this idea across thing, and then I'll say, okay, let us collectively brainstorm and let us shape it up. So that's how the rims what we have implemented as a thing in Nagpur Metro has become India's first metro to do this sort of digitalization in the metro space of any mega metro project. 8,500, 9,000 crores I'm talking about. So these sort of mega projects been with the digitalization, that is the first time we are doing it in India. So all this thing came because it was seen as a collective wisdom, not that this guy has come from Dubai and he wanted to implement something. No, it was never like that. And no, this sort of the adjustments and things you need to do a buy-in from all the stakeholders. So basically, the idea is it has to be part of a collective wisdom, not an individual's or a particular team's sort of initiative. Even if you project this as a HSC department's initiative, the other departments can block. So we put across the problem. We call every stakeholder. Let us do a collective brainstorming. This is the problem. These are all the possible solutions, and this is where we can put all the facts together in a way that, and we have to be completely convinced of whatever we are presenting it, and then it will have a cascading effect. People will definitely see through the things, and then they'll say, okay, yeah, this looks fine, and yes, we also agree. And after that you start that implementation, then people will say, yes, it's all agreed upon. There is no questioning back the very intention of this particular initiative. So that's how the most of the initiatives in the past has succeeded. And certain initiatives during my initial stage, when it was like presented like my idea or my thing, then of course we can get the management buy-in, but all other stakeholders, it's very difficult and things. So always uh, put the team's perspective and the team's buy-in as a front to see this initiatives as a success. So that's very key for any broader initiatives that across the organization, if you want to implement and across different stakeholders, and this becomes very crucial.
Got it. Understood. I think that's a very valuable input that you've given us. I also wanted to know if you could share any such initiatives that have been taken. You briefly touched upon the RIMS initiative at the metro project that you had implemented. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that and also similar initiatives which kind of really stand out for you?
Yeah, that was the first thing, after coming from Dubai, because all through my career, almost now 26 years now, out of that 14 years I spent overseas. More than half of my exposure is from overseas, and especially what better country beyond Dubai can be, because The very fundamental principle of the government itself is whatever new in the industry or in the world, that has to be in Dubai. That is the one simple thing. And every year we used to have a sort of brainstorming, collective brainstorming and things. And any proposal, but it is never a constraint. That has to be, you should put something new. It can be a minor improvement, whatever you're doing, but it has to be a new one and it has to be a little sort of pioneering thing. So the very seed of innovation, innovative thinking, and all those things. No, we used to have an ideas forum. Even a smaller idea, which need not be a cost saving, it can be any qualitative thing also that will be recognized and rewarded. So that was the culture I have been, no, not 1 or 2 years. I have been with the government for almost 10 years. And this was the thing, like innovation was like in sort of in veins, I can say. That sort of the culture that organization has developed there as part of Dubai Electricity and Water Authority. So this is a very way of thinking sort of thing that has been ingrained and things. And what better place can be than India to experiment all those things? We have a huge, playground to experiment. To all those things can be done, and that was with that much thing when I came here in India for part of this Nagpur Metro Rail project. I was representing a company called Sistra. We were representing the government of Maharashtra and government of India, part of consultants. So this was a challenge. Like the project was like a high profile project, and then Nagpur is politically it's a very sensitive area, and even a smaller nut bolt falling from height or somewhere here, that will be escalated next day. It will come in the headline in the newspaper. So that sort of sensitivity, and even a smaller person, a barricade is not proper. A public person will come and say, "I will go and report to Mr. Nitin Gadkari, the minister, senior person." And no, there is such a fantastic local connect there with the leadership and across the political spectrum. Anybody and everybody, it is like everything is sensitive there. You can't take any sort of things, not a closed boundary, it's an open field sort of thing, public. So the sensitivity was very, very high, and the margin of error is very, very less. And you imagine among the public, you need to move, you know, several cranes, so many. At peak, we were having some around 10,000 plus people at the peak, I'm saying, and on an average around 5,000 6,000 people across the 35 40 kilometer stretch of road, public road. People will be moving around, equipment will be moving around, 500 600 tons of steel will be hanging at 23 30 meters high at several locations, and even a small nut bolt here there, you can imagine how that sort of the sensitive thing. And that is the exact reason I was like um, seen this challenge as an opportunity to try out whatever new things we can do. And one of the serious challenge, as I said before, is closing the hazard. Spotting the hazard, anybody can spot, even public. We have the helplines and things. We used to get a lot of calls like this. Here there's an issue, there is an issue, and things. And if that is not immediately attended or there is some lag, next day it will come in the headline in the newspaper. And Nagpur is a very small city. Compared to the metros, it's a small city, and anything gets highlighted. And Nagpur is, everybody was watching metro, what is coming there and how these people are working, and that sort of the environment. So there, the response time, see, it's absolutely impossible to avoid mistakes. That too with such of no, it's mostly like we deal with most of the unskilled manpower for many menial tasks, on this stuff, excavations and these type of things. Unskilled manpower is also there. I'm not saying everything is unskilled, like, but the problem comes where you have a lot of unskilled manpower and people are not used to. There are people who comes from villages and think they don't see a heavy equipment or things passing by. So there, maintaining the health and safety and the environmental issues and things, that was a big challenge. That's where the technological support came. We used to fix all places like cameras and things. And then at the time smart cameras was not that much popular. Like then at the later part of the project we had the smart cameras in our stations and things, but initially there were some CCTV cameras and things. And then we felt, okay, some hazards after is identified, how quickly it is closing. That's the time we implemented this digitalization thing. And There is a smart app. That time we have implemented this RIMS app, where people can, our safety professionals and even all the site people, anybody spots a hazard, immediately they will take a photo, and then through that app they will report. Immediately there will be a kappa sort of mechanism set up, and how quickly it is being closed. That response time we used to manage. You will not believe the response time. Initially it was taking almost, for serious thing it will take 3 to 4 days minimum. I'm saying minimum 3 to 4 days, very serious thing, to complete the corrective action. And then on an average it will be 15 to 16 days the response time was, for normally any sort of hazard you spot. And by 16 days, sometimes what happens, by 16 days that particular activity would have got completed without correcting the hazard. So these sort of challenges, it was very. And after this app and things, we have reduced it to 2 hours. That response time for serious anything is 2 hours maximum. That was the thing. And any across any type of hazard, major, minor, or whatever insignificant, within a day it has to be closed. That was one significant achievement and things. And for that, that RIMS thing, and it has given so much of insights into. No, we are able to predict certain areas. Okay, these are all the accident prone areas. There we used to put our no focus much. The training and these sort of controls were deployed, no, depending upon those sort of analytics and things. That was a significant thing. And for that, we, our team got an award in Paris actually. The innovation award, yeah, this particular the RIMS application that has got implemented in Nagpur Metro got a international award, in Paris, from the sister headquarters across the globe. This was identified as the most innovative safety project that has been implemented at that point of time. So that was one special thing in my career. And apart from that, no other things on the technology platform. Like we had this safety experience center. Again, it's not that sort of technology where you use app or something, but no, that's a little different technology, like experiencing no the safety hazards without actually facing the consequences. These sort of, no, the technology doesn't mean like everything like a camera or app or something. So technology is something, whatever a new no way of doing things by some latest development, that I consider that as a sort of new technology. And we would be open to that. Even very smaller things like in trainings, there is an app called Kahoot. You would have known. This is a very simple sort of intuitive like a training tool which is freely available at the market. You use that, and because part of our thing, we have to go and educate the college students and other people. Part of our stakeholder outreach, we used to go to the colleges and think, because when we were implementing this particular project, almost 6 to 7 big colleges were on the route. And during the college timing, the people come out, 1,000 people suddenly they come out at that time of leaving the college and think they are suddenly exposed to tons of the equipment and the traffic materials and all those things. So it is our responsibility to educate them about the hazards and things. So when we go and uh, make them aware about these sort of hazards, this particular tool was very, very helpful for us. Like, you can conduct a thing for 1,000 people at a time, you can conduct with this tool, and which was freely available in the market. So technology doesn't mean like it is always costly or it is always very complicated or complex to implement. There are very simple things are available, and only thing is the intent has to be very clear, and you should be very open to try out new things. If something is not working or not working out, you change something else. Don't need to feel bad. Oh, this has failed or that is failed. And out of 5 things you try, 2 things hit. That's more than enough. And the objective of us is to keep on trying things. That's where I mentioned initially. The curiosity always helps, and you keep on trying out new things and getting things implemented. Yes.
When you implemented the RIMS system, what was instrumental in ensuring that the people in your team gave that particular activity a lot of importance and urgency? How did you create that?
See, one of the significant hindrance, especially in safety, for the safety professionals and things, is most of the time we are unable to quantify our efforts, most of the time. And then we always talk about our moral responsibility and things. We don't have data or things. I'm talking about some 6 7 years back, 2017 18. At that time I'm saying this is what no, it was a thing. But at the time itself there are a lot of things were available, but again it was not much popular thing. So this particular technological tool that has helped people, yeah, I have in a day I have spotted some 20 serious hazards. This many hazards they can quantify. Otherwise, no, they say I seen this, I seen that. You cannot quantify things, and then everything comes on paper and with photographs, and people are can be held accountable for these things. So this is where no the things are no quantification of the safety observations and things, and how this particular data, especially that response time tracking was no very important thing in our safety management. There people understood. When I projected to the management and to the execution team, when we spot the hazard and to close the hazard, it took almost a month, and for serious hazard it is almost taking a week. And during that week anybody can get affected by that. Are we really no sort of having that sort of risk appetite? We have to digest these sort of no the consequences. Then people start, oh, it took 1 week average. Oh, okay, I thought it's one-off incident and thing. No, it was happening regularly, and this is the data. So for quantifying all this, otherwise, what will happen? People will go to the inspection, they will find out some observation. At the end of the day, they sit before computer. But there's always a thing like, no, you have to be on the field and don't sit in front of the computer. And these type of things are always there for the field people. So they have come at the end of the day, they do some, no, putting this in the word, fitting that photograph and think they have to stand, sit for 1 hour and do all these things. And next day, at the end of the day, they'll send a mail. People will not read the mail on that day. Next day, they will read, and then they will communicate. And but just to communicate itself, it will take 1 or 2 days minimum. Then a correcting action follow up and all those things. So it is always a manual task and things. There, our people felt this has made their job very easy. One is making their job easy, and another thing is quantifying their job. At the end of the month, they can say, I have spotted this many hazards. We have closed down this. I have facilitated to close this many hazards. This is the average response time. In the average response time, though it is not my own responsibility, I have made the people aware and I have reduced the response time. So everything is quantified. Your efforts are quantified. No, the results are quantified. And your involvement is also quantified. So everything, when you quantify, our people felt, yes, this is fantastic. This is making my job very easy. And yes, initially, there was some criticism. Oh, what your people are doing? They come, they just take photo and they go. This is the criticism are there. That has to be a little bit balanced in between, in the first, and we have to educate our people. Don't give an impression that you don't have a skin in the game. You make all your effort to address that hazard, taking the control measures and things, and then as part of the system, you take this photograph and things. Don't give an impression that you go, you just act like a police officer, take a photo and come. No, that's where no the end user buy-in and the people's concerned stakeholders buy-in is very very important. So when we educate the people and they seen the sort of results are coming up, then the implementation was very easy. I hope I answered your question, right? This was your
Yeah, yeah,
question, no? How your team
yes,
received this and how it was. Yeah, that the team buy-in was, initially they said, oh, we are not used to this. You get carry the mobile phone and this. Then once they see the results and the quantification of things happening, and yeah, people started changing, and in fact they it made their job very very easy. And you won't
yes,
believe, initially to get a people for that project and for that team, it was very difficult for me to get. And once this thing started implementing, no, I used to get at least 5 6 calls in a day that yeah, I want to be part of your team and this. And the retaining of the people becomes so easy, because they once they understood their life is very easy, and they have to focus mainly on the technical part, not on the implementation part and things. And there is a technology and things. Yes, uh, they got a very attractive sort of option to come and work and gain a lot of experience, especially by using the technology. So that way, the buy-in was very easy for me.
understood. No, that's very interesting to learn. And Mrs. Swaminathan, now we see that road safety is a big problem, right? In India as well as across the globe. And also, Mr. Nitin Gadkari was saying that He has a target of reducing road accidents by up to 50% by 2030, right? So corporates here also play a very crucial role in ensuring that the employees in the company are becoming safer because they have a sphere of influence over that demographic of people. So, wanted to know your thoughts on certain initiatives that you have taken or maybe been a part of, which have seen success.
Yeah, again, road safety, I recall this particular topic back to my Oman days when I was, located in Muscat. And then we had in desert our projects in Marmul, Karnalam, and this sort of, area, purely a desert area where you have to travel almost 300 kilometers, do an inspection and come back. That is the only one task on that particular day. And in those areas, no, going 200 km/h is a very normal thing. Your speed is 1.5 hours. I used to reach 1.5 hours, maximum 2 hours. If there is any sandstorm or something, it will take 2 hours. Otherwise, I reach in 1.5 hours. And these sort of the more speed, then the more danger of driving comes. And that too, there we used to have a person called journey manager. The only task is he will just note down how many people are going out in the desert, how many people are traveling in the desert, and every hour that particular driver has to make a call. Yes, I have reached. As per the plan, he is supposed to be there in the particular area. After 1 hour of travel, he will reach particular spot and he will call back. Yes, if within that 1 hour, if that person is not calling back, then he has to launch the search and rescue effort. That is a trigger. Within 1 hour, if he's not getting, he will try to call back. If that signal is not going, immediate response is launch search and rescue. So there is a dedicated role, full-time person is sitting in the base location. He will track all these things. So that was very, a person called journey manager reporting to me. It was like, oh, I have got a journey manager. That was very new because oil and gas at the time, it was very new for me. I came from my infrastructure and construction background. So it was very new for me. And then, I was saying, oh, okay, this sort of new things are also there. And then for every vehicle, there is IVMS, the in-vehicle monitoring system, the speed and all those, safe behavior of the thing, driver, and all those things are monitored. And I used to feel, oh, very good. This sort of, things. Uh, that is was 2007, I'm saying. And now, if you see how that reach of that sort of thing, especially in India, with this sort of now roads are getting fantastic. I think recently my brother has gone for a hill station. He said, "Fana road is fantastic. 500 kilometers he driven with only a two small brakes, and he said it was like a floating in the road. That sort of superb roads. But the more nicer the roads, and it's more vulnerable for accidents as well. So that is where and given my exposure early in 2007 and now, I feel we have not much like grown in terms of technology because a lot of things are available, not at a very exorbitant cost. It's a very reasonable cost. Things and technologies are available, but somehow it is not fully realized. Maybe it is due to some like a legal requirement or thing, or somebody is waiting for a legal requirement to come into even the airbags and things. Not only they are making it as a legal requirement, right? So these sort of things, I don't know what sort of main reason will be, but again, as you said, corporates have a big role to play, and I have seen already, many corporates are already started sort of this sort of driving initiatives and things where they have got this IVMS. It's becoming very popular in India now, getting this in-vehicle monitoring system. There are a lot of app-based things, telematics things are available where the driver's behavior and things also can be like braking and turning short corners. These sort of the speed and those type of things also can be monitored. But again, the challenge, if you see from the road safety perspective, yes, now most of the companies are still focusing on training and the things, the soft part of the things. Hard part, like putting this IVMS thing in the vehicles can be made compulsory. The speed limiters, things for all the commercial vehicles. I still not seeing much this sort of improvement in many commercial vehicles of having the speed limiters and things. And the hardware part is sort of missing. Even software side, if you see the telematics and things that can be very well adapted, but again, people see this as sort of entering their private space. They feel a little. Recently, we had a conversation internally, and then some people have raised a concern. This can no barge into the privacy. See, India still I feel it is little easier to implement given other no the advanced countries there. This part of technology is always looked into with suspicion, and getting the buy-in is a very difficult part. Especially even I recollect just for emergency preparedness and things we thought of implement. I am saying 10 years back when I was in Dubai, that RFIDs that can be attached to the your ID cards, and then for quick evacuation we know exactly where people are there, how many people are out, how many people are inside stuck, and all those things. But that again, that was seen as a privacy issue, and that was non-starter. That initiative was killed at the inception. So no, this is a incursion of privacy, and we don't no endorse these type of things. So this is a big challenge actually. In certain case, yes, and I personally feel in the increased age of this internet and technological improvement and things, the more and more the privacy space is already shrink. You can't say you are now we are online, we are interacting now. This is can be easily hacked. If anyone, if our conversation is worth hacking, it is easily done. That can be easily done, and privacy is something like an illusion, I can say, in this advanced age of internet and digitalization and things. Only thing what as a corporate or what as a responsible professional we can ensure is how that particular data what we collect or what we come across by this technology is uh, properly used or properly not or not misused. That is the responsibility of every professional and every corporates as a thing. But again, showing privacy as a concern, and we have to just set a balance, like how much benefit we are going to get by foregoing this particular concern and things, or by assuring people that no, don't worry, your privacy will not be at stake, and though certain monitoring is being done, it's all recorded, no, nothing can be no used against or things. So that sort of some privacy policy and these type of things, we should make people more aware, and then there will be a huge buy-in. Otherwise, especially this telematics and things, again, the big implementation is not the budget, because the technology is becoming more and more affordable. It is just an app you install in your mobile phone, and that's it, you forget it. But the accuracy of this telematics is again a problem. But still, than having no data, something is there for you to benchmark and things, that will be much better. And compared to the telematics, there is an increased impression that within the vehicle itself you incorporate this sort of technology that will have a more accuracy. But either way, if you see the cost part, it's not much. The only thing is the buy-in part and the trust what people have, and that is where our part comes or becomes more crucial. We need to get the buy-in by giving a very transparent approach, or the thing that this is the cost, this is the benefit, this is the thing. Of course, yes, we can't say your 100% privacy is there. That is an illusion always, and that part, if you make people to understand and the benefit, if you're able to communicate effectively, then it should be an easy thing. Again, to answer your question, the road safety part, still we are, most of the companies, most of the things, we are focusing on the softer part. Okay, train the people, check the people are having license or not. Once in a month you ask for a meeting, give toolbox talks every month and things. That is where we still stuck are mostly on the very softer side of thing. But using this technology of telematics, this IVMS and these things are, yes, it is being adapted, but not to the extent which the country at a large scale like India requires. So that is where the scope for improvement is there. But overall awareness have improved. A lot of champions on road safety. In the public domain, we can see a lot of people and spreading this message across, and that is taken very well by the corporates as well, setting aside a substantial budget for improving these areas. The thought process already set in. Only thing is maybe a slight push from the legal thing that would accelerate this sort of the road safety deployment in the coming years. But the things are in the positive side. It's on the progressive, I can say. But the rate of growth or the thing, as I said, it is not up to the desired level, I can say, as a HSE professional.
So what we've also observed is these days there are a lot of MNCs and Fortune 500 companies also who are giving a lot of importance to road safety. Also because it's directly linked to their ESG reporting, right? Wherein They need to show how many accidents have happened, what safety initiatives have been taken, and hence your lost time incident frequency rate, number of vehicle accident frequency rate, all of that directly impacts your ESG reporting. Because of that, we're seeing that companies are also implementing this. And I just want to share one experience of ours. We actually implemented the SafetyConnect application for uh, uh, a large global enterprise which has a distributed field force who is into service operations. And we noticed that within a year, they were able to reduce major accidents by up to 83%. So they did have the queries in terms of the privacy and so on and so forth. Then we spoke to them about how you have your personal mode, business mode, and then they went about actually showing the dashboards to each and every employee, saying that, hey, only during working hours is when your driving insights are going to be analyzed. Nobody is going to reprimand you in case of unsafe behaviors. It's only you're only going to be counseled based on this. So that is when the buy-in was also there of the employees, and also they put a rewards and recognition program in place and also inform the families about this, added an SOS capability. So now all of this went a long way in really getting everybody's buying in and showing them the value. And somebody actually said that if we had had this solution 6 months ago, we wouldn't have lost an employee who had actually succumbed to a fatality, right? So if an employee itself is saying this, that means that they really connected with this. And so I feel communicating all of this in the right way goes a long way in ensuring the success of these initiatives as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And one more thing I would like to say, see, road safety, not only in the public roads, in my experience, I have seen once I was like, leading almost, we were managing 50 plus plants, which includes steel plants, cement plants, paints, these sort of, industrial setup sort of. So there in steel plants, especially in most of our larger steel plants, it's 25, 30 kilometers of road or minimum, I'm saying. These sort of roads are there, internal roads are there, which, a lot of heavy vehicle movement, and you imagine 25, 30,000 people are coming in and out in a day, and such a huge equipment and things are getting transferred along these roads along with the people. You imagine the necessity or the intensity of the road safety thing, the control measures to be put in place. So that's where not only the telematics and these sort of things, but also the speed limiting cameras, and there are some LEDs now very creatively. It's just when you pass it and shows your speed, what speed you are traveling and things. So these sort of the things can be thought of, and because putting speed breaker everywhere, it is not possible inside the plant, because there are a lot of no heavy things moving here and there, and everywhere you cannot put a speed bump and things. That is really more dangerous than the protecting the people there. So there, these sort of technological things, not much cost aspect, but this will be definitely helpful, as you said rightly, making people aware about these things are quite important, and these sort of things goes a long way in making people aware. When you demonstrate the management is taking care, oh, they're spending money on this, they're putting camera, they're giving this telematics thing, putting that sort of awareness, LED things, speed limiters and things, speed sort of things are there, then people also will feel, okay, management is doing their part and we have to be our, in that sense, it is, more important that that awareness is there.
Absolutely. And since we're talking about technology, there's conversation no conversation can be complete if we don't talk about AI and Gen AI. So what are your thoughts about AI and Gen AI in safety, and any thoughts on what the future is looking like?
Somehow, AI, even very big jumbo ones, leaders, they say it's still an evolving field, and we are making so much of bold predictions and things. My approach is artificial intelligence should no way be considered as a substitute for our natural intelligence. That is one thing. And to fellow professionals, it's like, no, it's an evolving thing that we can't, stop. with or without you, that new technology is going to come, and it's already came in massive scale. And instead of seeing that as a threat, let us augment that sort of capability as a support to the natural intelligence. And no way artificial intelligence can sort of replace you as a thing. Only thing is, it motivates us to upskill us better. That's where we have to see from the as a professional sort of perspective. Augmented technology itself, we can do many things, especially our the data. So much of safety data are available. We are collecting right from our inspection, the observations and things, near miss reporting. So many data are coming in, and this is where it is really literally impossible for an individual or a person to analyze everything. It will be a mind-boggling thing. Now with this sort of AI tools and things, the predictive analysis, so these sort of things, we can use this technology in a very productive way. Only thing is, garbage in, garbage out. You use any hi-fi technology, you have to feed in a proper information. That's where the awareness thing comes, and the data cleaning. Still, you won't believe. Still, if you get a 10 report on investigation, if you feed that to the AI tool or this thing, you won't get a clear picture, because the information which you are feeding into that itself is not much clear on. So that is where the competence of the people is very, very important. What sort of quality data we are feeding to these tools? So that's where we have to increase our competency in standardizing this sort of reporting type of hazards and these type of things, so that we can get a clear picture of the things happening at the ground through this AI technology and things. Otherwise, if you have a very poor quality data going into this sort of hi-fi tools, it's not going to be anything useful. It's just no waste of money. And again, management will say, okay, you have got the latest tool, what improvement you have done? No, nothing, because your basic input is wrong. So that is where let us try to adapt these tools, not only for the sake of adoption, but also train our people to generate quality data. When you are reporting an incident, see that you are using standard terminology, standard sentences and things, because you write different sort of sentence, and the system captures different. So make a system so robust that you don't give much room for error for people in reporting or utilizing this sort of system. So make it more sort of tailor made sort of things, where you will give less for the imaginative part of the people, especially in reporting these incidents and the data analytics sort of things there. Because many people, I hear people complaining, oh, what is the use of this tool? We are not getting any good insights. You're not getting any good insights because you're not giving a good quality data to the system. So that is the as good as that. So that is one area where we have to focus. And AI capabilities, especially does digital twins, that is all is having a very huge impact. And it can make our life very, very easy. The moment you implement this type of technology, you see in major plants, if you see very 25 years back or something, it is being constructed, you don't get a P and ID or these type of drawings. Some key things will be missing, even though we are process preaching so much on process safety and things. Still in Indian context, not only Indian context, I have visited many other countries as well. Overall, if you see, they have a very good picture outside, but inside, if you go little deeper, the process safety and things needs a lot of maturity. Very few organizations, very few countries have that sort of robust setup as a fundamental thing. There, these sort of technological thing, digital twinning and things that can be of very helpful, especially in no adapting to this process safety requirements and implementing this process safety things will be much easier when we adapt this sort of technology. Again, coming to artificial intelligence, smart cameras is a very good thing that can reduce our effort. It can. I remember some 2016, 15. We're just visiting conference. You can. There is a screen in front. It says how happy you are by seeing your face. Just by facial impression, that screen will say, hey, you are happy. This many happy people are here. Why are you? When it sees, sense your face is little. Why are you dull? What happened? These sort of things. So that time it was wonder, oh, this can detect and these things and all. So now it becomes very common, no, like smart cameras can detect so many things. It can be a very good tool for implementing in things. Any spillage in your plant, which goes, because nowadays more and more companies are going for a very lean setup. adapting technology and things where you can't afford so many people to monitor like previous days, olden days. Now very less people are managing the plant and these type of things. So there, some additional eyes and things are required. There, the smart AI enabled smart cameras and things are there where it can spot, and geofencing, especially in the hazardous plant like steel plant and things. This geofencing concept is very, very critical and useful and implemented through this AI enabled smart cameras, and even traffic control inside the plant, even outside public roads and things. And these type of the technologies are definitely welcome thing. Usage of drones, some areas chimneys and things where you can't go physically and inspect the drones with the smart cameras and things that can help. And more and more you are open to adapt the technology, your life becomes more and more simpler, and you can get more insightful approach. So that is where we have to adapt to those side of the technological thing rather than seeing that as sort of competition or a threat. Let us see that as a partner which can enhance, and that is also required time. And now we also need somebody to threaten our status quo, unless otherwise we don't upskill or we will get comfortable in our comfort zone. And then so the continuous learning and development, especially, and going places, seeing the new technology, exposure matters a lot. That's what I feel. I'm fortunate to a part of my thing, fortunate to visit many countries and see the latest technology, go for some industrial visit and things. So that has given me a lot of the exposure and insight and things. And believe me, India is in the very right direction. 2 years back I gave sort of a lecture or a presentation, I can say, on the best practices. And some of the best practices, that is to my peers back in Dubai. They were saying, wow, it is in India, it is happening. In Dubai, this is very on the preliminary stage. You are developing, you are doing in a very large scale. Wow, that's what the comment from them. So India is developing a lot. We don't want to feel like we are behind. No, in technology, we are at par actually. And even I visited United States, some plants and things and all. We are far better than many places there. Of course, we cannot generalize anything, but we can't feel inferior. We don't need to feel inferior or something in the Indian context. If you see technology-wise, we are at par, or sometimes we are superior than our peers across the world. So in that way, if you see, to sustain that sort of momentum, we have to have that sort of exposure and trying to convince ourselves first, then only we can get the buy-in from the management. It's not that just for the sake of implementation. We have to find out what exactly is the need and how best we can augment this sort of technology. For every problem there is a solution, technological solution available nowadays. So only thing is you have to see how it is worked. So that's why you have to frequently benchmark with the peers, go through. I used to go through the publications and things, what exactly new technologies are coming, so that we are also keeping updated. Doesn't mean that you have 25 years of experience. No, it's not that you know everything. It's evolving, and if next 6 months or 1 year, if I'm not upgrading anything, then I'm getting obsolete. So that is where we have to be, update with the sort of recent trends and developments and things. And GAI, Gen AI is going to be the future, but I'm not seeing that as a threat or things. Wherever it is possible, it has to be like strengthening, reinforcing our controls. In that way, if you start seeing and get an exposure, and don't try to force fit any technology just for the sake of we have to proudly say, yeah, we have implemented AI in our thing. What to implement AI if it is not having any significant effect in your performance, safety performance, or any other performance? So that's where my my experience, if you ask me, getting buy-in from the management, getting buy-in from the stakeholders, are one part or 50% of the hurdle. The rest 50% is the diligent execution. That's where I feel a lot of your experience and the soft skills comes into play. Well, it's very difficult, to change the perception, to get the buy-in from the people down the line. And that is where your leadership skill, your negotiation skill, and your conviction, how convinced you are in the particular initiative, how much skin in the game is there. All these things only will determine the sort of the success of this thing. Otherwise, whatever you put AI or whatever thing, unless otherwise you improve your competence down the line, and no, you put your self skin in the game, that determines the success of these initiatives and these sort of the controls.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Mr. Swaminathan, what's that one message you want to leave people with?
One message. I want to copy somebody. I don't know who told you. They say stay hungry, stay foolish. I think Steve Jobs. I don't know, but that's what I feel like. Be very curious. The technology. It's not like I still remember going to my first class, the typewriting class. No, at the time they say why you are wasting your time in typewriter. A computer is going to come and all the typists will lose their job. Or the same thing happened when calculator came. I believe I don't know, but whenever any technology comes, people will say, "Yeah, this is come and you're going to be there." Yes, we will be replaced if you're not upgrading ourselves or upskilling ourselves and staying in the trend. So that's where a lot of development. I always know in whatever positions I am, I always profess continuous professional development as a key thing. You continuously evolve as a professional, develop yourself. Whatever technology comes, try to see that as how to augment this. And human intelligence is can never be replaced by any artificial intelligence and things. And I always say we start. Humanizing the machine, and we are becoming machines. We are losing our thinking capability, and we are letting see for everything we have a substitute. No, you have machines everything to do your routine task and job. Now you are delegating your thinking also to a machine or a computer or a robot. That is going to be a dangerous trend. So that should not happen. To keep ourselves sane, to keep ourselves on a thinking thing, we should keep ourselves always updated and things, staying on top of our profession and what sort of new developments are there. Let us have develop these sort of habits, continuously upgrade yourself, learn new skills and things. All these things, AI cannot replace human insights, judgment, and then again the responsibility part of it. So these things are very innate to the humans. That's where we can have an edge over the artificial intelligence or the things. So adapt to the technology, see that we are always the masters. The machines are always machines. So the moment you give yourself the power uh, to listen to those machines, and naturally it will be taking over. But that's where I feel my last word: the technology is always and will always be uh, supporting us, and never give an opportunity for technology to overpower us. That is the thing. And especially in EHS, technology is just a tool, and it is our collective responsibility to use those technology ethically. That is more important, because more and more the privacy and things are coming, the ethically using and responsibly usage of the technology. Ultimately, the goal is to have a safer, healthier, and a sustainable workplaces. That's where our mission is. And I'm 100% sure that whatever technology we have, absolutely any technology available at a very reasonable cost today to implement and things. The only thing is that intent is required, and also the very conviction of how we get this implement across the organization. That becomes more crucial and challenging. So when the intent is there, yes, everything will fall in place, and that's my message. Thank you, and thanks, Tanmay, for this opportunity. It was like a good platform to express my views. And one thing, disclaimer, I am saying whatever is all my views are personal, and nothing is I'm not representing any organization as a pure HSC professional. All my views are purely personal, and nothing can be traced. And whatever names I have taken, it's all in good faith, and all it's my previous employers. I am very thankful. They have given me a good exposure and the reach. As I told you, I never faced any challenge in terms of getting their buy-in. Only thing is, I look forward an effective way of putting things across to the management. That's where I hone my skill and things. I also request or urge my fellow professionals, whenever you feel like your words are not listened to, or you're not able to get the buy-in, change the approach or change the way you put forth this, and always make sure you are convinced first. If you are convinced 100%, there cannot be the biggest problem, or the biggest person, or the hardest person to convince is ourselves. If we are 100% convinced, you don't need to put everything in thing. Your very body language, your very thing that will have a cascading effect to the person listening, and then that will be easily implemented. So you should have the conviction, and you should have that sort of the approach. And if particular thing is not welcomed by or listened to by my superior or the senior management, what else or what different I can propose? For that, I should have a conviction. It's not that just for the sake of something. I am convinced, then how I can convince others for the sake of this, the safer or healthier workplace. That's the core message, and that's been one area where I always am working as a professional, and most of the time I feel like no, I attribute my success to that particular spirit. Thank you, Tanmay, for this opportunity, and it's a pleasure talking to you. And thanks for asking such insightful, questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Safety Connect podcast and sharing your thoughts and wisdom. I'm pretty sure that the people listening or watching this will have a lot of valuable takeaways which they can immediately implement within their company and then strive to achieving zero harm. Thank you so much.